Heavy, I've been on it much too long. I've seen all the world I want to see. I want to see my daddy smiling and my mama hugging me. Lord, it's good to be going back home. Going home, I'm going home. I got the feeling only going home can give. Where everybody knows me, I don't have to prove it. It's the simple things in life I want to live. The skies are crimson purple as the sun sets in the west, and it's cool on the back of my head. It's those simple things in life, it's calling me back home. And tonight I'll sleep in Mama's feather bed. I'm going home, I'm going home. I got the feeling only going home can give. Where everybody knows me, I don't have to prove a thing. It's the simple things in life I want to live. It's the simple things in life I want to live. I'm going home. Thank you. We decided, we mean Peggy and me, we decided to make this autobiographical. And I thought that was a great idea that you had, Peggy. Anyway, so we can take you with me on my journey. My journey started back in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I'm the son of Alger and Jenny Shiner, and had three brothers, Bill, Charlie, and Bob. Started singing 428 East Locust Street when I was about 14 years old. Singing there, and it was my mom. My brother brought home a guitar, and he didn't want to learn to play it, so I thought, well, I would give a shot at it. And I'm still trying that. Anyway, I took to the guitar, and my mother was a great singer. And she sang in the choir at home. And so I started to play the guitar, got a self-help book, and to make some chords. I had this guitar that my brother brought home. And so that's the way I started. By the time I was 15, that's about a year and a half later, Mom and I sang at our church. We had a church that we belonged to. In fact, my parents were one of the founders of Calvary Reformed Church in Bethlehem. And we started singing up there in that church. And, you know, there's a cross on top of that church that my dad put there in 1953 to honor my mother. Yes, he did. I visited that church this past June when I was up home, June and July. There's nothing left for me of days that used to be. I live in memories among my souvenirs. Some letters tied in blue, a photograph or two. I'll sing my songs for you. These are my souvenirs. I started singing in the 30s. My hero was Gene Autry, who used to sing on the National Bar Dance in Chicago in the 30s, who became the singing cowboy in the movies, Gene Autry. And another one was Jimmy Rogers, singing Brakeman in the 30s. And of course the Carter family, the Sloman family. But just a lot of folks I love to sing, being inspired by them. My dad bought me a guitar when I was 16, and we bought the guitar. So Nazareth, Pennsylvania is about 25 miles, I guess, from Bethlehem, where the Martin guitar is made. So my dad took me up there at Christmas in 1937 and bought me my first Martin guitar. Wow. everybody said, well, if he bought you the guitar in 1937, how much was that guitar? He got me at the Martin Guitar Company up in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. I was there in June of this year. Well, the Martin guitar was $37.50. And it's true, and everybody, they do laugh. They do.
Isn't that what you paid for your strings?
No, I'm paying $15 for my strings. But anyway, the guitar was sold to my dad by the grandfather of the current president, Christian Martin IV. I found that out when I was up there. Yeah, that same guitar today is now $700. Wow. And they took me, while I was up there, the assistant to the president, Dick Volk, took me to the factory where the factory was first built in 1850. Took some pictures there while I was there in June. Actually loaned me a guitar so I could do some picking and singing while I was home. That was all right. Anyway, speaking of Gene Autry, a friend of mine who I got to know later on in years, Warren Horton, a Hall of Fame songwriter, wrote a big classic for Gene Autry in the late 30s called Address Unknown. And that man that wrote that great song for Gene Autry, he played a big part in my life later on down the road. I'll tell you about it later. I waited each day for your letter, although I knew what it would cost. But dear, when it came, I wrote neath my name these heartbreaking words, address unknown. I know I'd be so glad to see you, in spite of the hurt you're done. But deep down inside, I can't lose my pride and forgive you for what you've ever done. But I just couldn't open your letter, although you're no longer my own. The moment it came, I wrote neath my name these heartbreaking words, address unknown. Thank you. Let me tell you about my mom and dad and my mother's parents. Gee, my mother was Jenny Newton, and answer that, might be the phone. Anyway, he was born in 1845 and was 15 years younger than my grandma, who was born in 1860. But when he was in the Civil War, after he was come out of the Civil War, he got a job being an engineer on the Lehigh Valley Railroad. And I love to hear my mom talk about her dad. I never met this man. He died in 1905. And used to talk about him being an engineer on the railroad. And they lived in Pittston. Pittston's a coal mining town. Either you worked on the railroad or you was a coal miner. That's where my dad, the Shiners, moved to. And my dad was a baby. Anyway, this song I found about a train, because I got to sing about trains. In fact, I got a strange kind of feeling when I hear a passenger train. Trains, trains, trains. I got a thing about trains. I get a grand sign of feeling when I see a passenger train in the fast-moving world that we live in. Nobody rides them much these days. I guess I'm just a little sentimental, 'cause I know that things have to change. But I still like to go for train rides, 'cause I got a thing about trains. Trains, trains, trains. You're fading from the scene when my little boy says, Daddy, what was it like to ride a train? I'll just say it was a good way to travel, when things didn't move quite so fast. I'm sorry, son, that you can't ride one, 'cause trains are things of the past. Trains, trains, trains. I got a thing about trains. Thank you. That song was written by a dear friend of mine of 60 years. He just passed away recently. And Jack Clement, we've known each other for 60 years. And he wrote that song years ago for Johnny Cash. I picked it up about 20 years ago and finally decided to learn it, and I'm glad I did. So thanks to my buddy Jack. He wrote the song, I Gotta Sing About Trains. I found another song, since I was talking about the mines. I found another song that I thought would be good to use tonight. It was written by Rita McNeil, who was from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. She was a great singer, great songwriter, great entertainer. She traveled a good part of the world, all over the United States and Canada and Europe and Australia. And she wrote a song about the mines, because over in Nova Scotia there are mines over that way. It's called the Miner's Song. It's the working man I am, and I've been down underground. I swear to God, if I never see the sun, or for any length of time, I will hold it in my mind, I never again will go down underground. At the age of 16 years, he quarreled with his peers. He vowed he'd never see another one. In the dark recess of the mine, you'll age before you die, and the coal dust lies heavy on your lungs. It's the working man I am, and I've been down underground. I swear to God, if I never see the sun, or for any length of time, I can hold it in my mind, I never again will go down underground. At the age of 64, he'll meet you at the door. He'll gently take you by the arm. Through the dark recess of the mine, you'll age before your time, and he'll tell you of the hardships that were there. It's the working man I am, and I've been down underground. I swear to God, if I never see the sun, or for any length of time, I can hold it in my mind, I never again will go down underground. Oh, I never again will go down underground, down underground. Thank you. Talking about my grandfather, Josiah Newton. Of course, my mom was his daughter, mother's daughter, and he's the great-great-grandson of Solomon Newton, who married the daughter of an Irish couple come over from Ireland around 1750. He married their daughter. They had children, Lucinda and William. Well, Lucinda married Solomon Newton, who trickled down to my mom, Jenny Newton, who married Al Shiner, and here sits Merv, right? But the nice thing about her brother, he took a different route. William enlisted in the Continental Army under General Washington and was one of his bodyguards at Valley Forge. That's documented in the Library of Congress. And I'm so proud I had to say that. If I ever met this man, I hope to meet him someday. And I would say to him, let me ask you something, William. How was it in Valley Forge? He'd probably say, Merv, it was cold. And speaking of this song, Lost Little Children, a couple of years ago, Dave Townsend had an idea, a great idea. He wanted to do an album of songs of the Civil War era, which he did. Turned out great. There was about 25 of us that day, took part in that. And in fact, he brought some of the CDs along, if anybody would like to take one of the CDs home with you tonight. And he asked me if I would do a song on this album. I said, yeah. Well, he played a song for me.
The lead song.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. He played this song called Lost Little Children. As soon as he started playing it, I said, Dave, I just love the song because I identify with the story. And it's about a boy and a girl coming over from Ireland. And can you just picture them coming over from Ireland around the turn of the century with badges on, Lucinda O'Brien and William O'Brien? It was a great story. And I said, oh, yes, I will sing the song, and I recorded the song, and I'm so glad I did. And here's the song, Lost Little Children.
Merv said I can interrupt it.
Yes, you can.
This is a 2 CD set of Civil War era music, and it is accompanied by about 15 minutes on each CD with an explanation as to why it is part of the Civil War era history. So it's a little bit unique in that respect. And Merv was kind enough to participate with another 24 musicians all locally, and we put this together. It was a labor of love over 2 years.
Yeah. And there's a recitation that goes with that, and I'm sorry, Dave, but I forgot how the recitation goes.
Yours suffices.
But it's on the album. It's a whole story about the folks coming over on these sailing ships at that time. It's a great story and a great song. Lost Little Children. There are my mama and daddy. They came a long time before me. We sailed on the steamship Atlantic from our home far across the stormy sea. I have their letter in my pocket. It says we will meet on the pier. But the daylight is now almost over, and darkness and cold soon draws in. Do they know we are lost little children, as they look for my face in the crowd? It's been so long since they've seen me, I wonder if they'll know me now. I paid them our £4.20, one last look at the green rocky shore. They said that the New World had plenty, but we'll never cease like a winning war. Do they know we are lost little children as they look for my face in the crowd? It's been so long since they've seen me, I wonder if they'll know me now. Hold to my hand, little brother, be brave and try not to cry. We have a good father and mother, and soon we'll be safe by their side. Do they know we are lost little children as they look for my face in the crowd? It's been so long since they've seen me, I wonder if they'll know me now. Yes, I wonder if they'll know me now.
I'm just going to say one little quick thing here, if I may. That song was written in part by Robin and Linda Williams, who you may have seen on, or heard, I guess, on Lake Wobegon radio station. Every time I hear that song, tears come to my eyes, and I was so glad Merv was going to sing it and put it on the record.
Me too. Me too. I just love the song. I love the story because I identify with it, you know? And it's a great story. In 1949, my life made a big change, a huge change. Because my mom and I hopped the bus from Bethlehem to Newark, New Jersey, and appeared on a television show called The Hometown Frolic in '49. And that took care of the whole New York marketplace. I guess there was about 20 million people in that area, and the station covered all that area. And we went down and auditioned for the show. In '49, we were on the show. I don't remember the song that I sang, the songs that we sang, but this man, who I talked about in the beginning of my program, who wrote the big song for Gene Autry, Address Unknown, well, that man was watching the show that night, and he sent word to the TV station that he wanted to meet me. His name was Vaughn Horton. I mentioned him in the beginning. And I met him the following week in New York in the Brill Building at 49th and Broadway. The Brill Building is the world-famous Tin Pan Alley, which everybody in the world has heard of, Tin Pan Alley. He met me there, talked to me, and you know what? The following week he invested his money in bringing me back to New York, taking him in the recording studio, and I recorded 4 songs that day. He took those 4 songs to the producer at Decca Records, mind you. And that producer at Decca Records, they bought my masters, signed me to a Decca recording contract. And I was on Decca Records in July 1949. How about that? And I'll tell you, and thank you, and I'll tell you, the first song that they released was not those songs, was a song called Why Don't You Haul Off and Love Me, which nobody would ever heard about today because it was a top 5 in 1949. Here's the way it went. The chorus. Why don't you haul off and love me one more time? Da, 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 da. Squeeze me till I'm turning blind. If you don't cuddle up and love me like I want you to do, I'm gonna haul off and die over you. Well, you know, the lyrics today, they sound corny. They do. They really do. But then that was of another time. But you can't take away from the fact that it was a top 5 song in the United States. It was top 5 by Merv, my first release. Well, that was okay until January of 1950, when my producer sent me in the mail 2 songs on a '78 record. I played the '78 record, and this guy singing, "Here Comes Peter Cottontail." Another guy singing, "Poor Floppy, poor Floppy." Floppy didn't have a friend at all. I called my producer and I said, "Hey, whatever happened to my country career?" He said, about it, Merv. Learn the songs to come down next week and we're going to record them. I walked into the studio on 57th Street, right down the road from Carnegie Hall, and there's the Decca Recording Studios with a 10-piece orchestra and me with my little $37 guitar. Here I am with a 10-piece orchestra. I put the guitar down, I didn't even take it out of the case. And I started singing, "Here comes Peter Cottontail, up and down the bunny." Sing it with me. Hippity hoppin', Easter's on the bringing every girl and boy, bringing every girl and boy, a basket full of Easter joy, things to make your Easter bright. There'll be jelly bean for Tommy, there'll be jelly bean for Tommy, colored egg for Sister Sue. There's an organ for your mommy and an Easter bonnet too. Here comes Peter Cottontail. Here comes Peter Cottontail, up and down the bunny trail, hippity hoppin', happy Easter day. Thank you. It sure changed my life. You can just picture it. No airplanes now. It was trains, riding trains from New York to Boston, Providence, Rhode Island, Hartford, Connecticut, all the stations in New York, all the way down to Philadelphia. I did interviews for that whole Eastern corridor. Wow, what a thrill. Here I am with this big record. And yeah, that opened the door to the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee. The day before Easter, in 1950, selling over 1 million copies. Wow. It is a thrill. It's a thrill to this day to talk about it. I wish I had a couple more, but they're hard to come by. I did some other children's songs called "Me and My Teddy Bear, Got No Worries, Got No Care." Me and my teddy bear, we play and play all day. I don't sing that anymore. That was a big song. But anyway, here I am with Peter Cottontail on the Grand Ole Opry with Hank Williams. The great Hank Williams. He was at the top of his game. And he introduced me on the Opry. I do have a record of this at home. A lady made a copy of that. Hank Williams introduced me, and he introduced me as Floppy Cottontail. Honestly, well, here's Floppy Cottontail. He said, this big 6-footer from Bethlehem. I shrank, I was, but now I'm 5'10". Anyway, they're great. They're great memories. Yeah. This song I found a few years ago, and I just fell in love with this song. You have to love a song to sing it. If you don't, the songs come along and you say it's a great song, but if you don't fall in love with the song, it really doesn't make any difference. And here I'm going to say this, Peggy. Last July, I was in Nashville. Yes, for my 75th anniversary. And I did a CD. I did a CD documenting my 75 years from starting to sing with my mom in 1937 to last July was 75 years. And this song is about an old man reminiscing about the love of his life. He remembers the first time he met her. He remembers the first thing she said. He remembers the first time he held her, and the night that she came to his bed. He remembers her sweet way of saying, honey, is something gone wrong. He remembers the fun and the teasing, and the reason he wrote her this song. I'll give you a daisy a day, dear. I'll give you a daisy a day. I'll love you until the rivers run still, and the four winds we know blow away. they would walk down the street in the evening, and for years I'd see them go by. Their love that was more than the clothes that they wore could be seen by the gleam in their eye. As a kid, they'd give me for candy, and I loved to go tagging along. We'd hold hands as we walked to the corner, and the old man would sing her this song. I'll give you a daisy, I'll give you a daisy day. I love you until the river runs still, and the four winds we know blow away. Now he walks down the street in the evening, and he stops by the old candy store. I somehow believe he's believing, he's holding her hand as before. He feels all her love walking with him, and he smiles at the things she might say. Then the old man walks up to the hilltop, he brings her a daisy today. I'll give you a daisy today. I'll give you a daisy today. I love you until the rivers run still, and the four winds we know blow away. Yes, I love you until the rivers run still, and the four winds we know blow away. Well, I was in Nashville that week. My producer said, be prepared to stay for a week because we're going to do some gospel songs with the world-famous gospel group, the Jordanaires. I don't know if you ever heard of the Jordanaires, but they're the most recorded gospel group, period. And a couple of months ago, Gordon Stoker, who was the original member of the Jordanaires, passed away. Everything I did back then in the early 50s, I did about 14 sides. That's 7 records, so I think 14 sides plus 4 more. They backed me on some country classics that I did. But I had a chance to choose some songs, and that doesn't very often happen. And I chose to do 2 of the songs that I recorded with the Jordanaires. I'm going to sing them tonight, called Pass Me Not, O Gentle Savior, written by Fanny Crosby. Fanny Crosby was born in 1825, one of my favorite gospel writers. Born in 1825, and by the time she was 3 or 4 years old, she lost her eyesight. But she found that she had a talent for writing gospel songs. Fanny wrote over 800 gospel songs. One of the big ones is, Blessed Assurance, Jesus is mine, and so many other ones. But I did, and I recorded this song called Pass Me Not, O Gentle Savior. And Lord, I'm coming home. Pass me not, O gentle Savior, hear my humble cry, while on others thou art called, do not pass me by. Savior, Savior, hear my humble cry, while on others thou art called, do not pass me by. I've wandered far away from God, now I'm coming home. The paths of sin too long I've trod, Lord, I'm coming home. coming home, never more to roam. Open wide thine arms of love. Lord, I'm coming home. Lord, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Thank you. That's for your share. I was talking to you about my friend Jack Clement a while ago. If it wouldn't have been for him, I wouldn't have made it to the Holy Land. That was in 1984. On the way to the Holy Land, we stopped in Egypt and visited the Valley of the Kings and come over to Jerusalem. But we stayed a couple nights in Tel Aviv. And I wanted to go from the Hilton in Tel Aviv to the Hilton in Jerusalem, and the concierge says, we don't have a room or any rooms available in the Hilton in Jerusalem, but we do have a hotel and 2 rooms available for you in a hotel on the Mount of Olives. And when they said the Mount of Olives, I don't even want to know the name of the hotel. I don't care. I'll take the 2 rooms. So we took the 2 rooms on the Mount of Olives. I was so thrilled to be staying there on the Mount of Olives. Think about it. For Christ ascended to heaven. Wow. And he will return, by the way. Well, we stayed in the, checked into the hotel on the Mount of Olives, and about 2 days later we took a tour, and one of the places on the big tour was the Garden of Gethsemane. I can remember like it was yesterday. It was just a beautiful place. Of course it's an olive garden, you know. And there was a building. It wasn't very high. Maybe it was maybe 15 feet high. And in this building we went in was a big rock where it said Christ had prayed before the crucifixion. And we went in there and we just sat there. And all of a sudden, there must have been 8 or so people on the side there because it was dark. And they started to sing a song. I don't remember what the song was, but it was thrilling. It was quiet, it was still, and it was just thrilling. I'll never forget that. That was the big memories I had over there. Besides, I went to all the other places where Christ was born, and just everywhere, okay? But this ride reminds me of this song that I recorded many years ago. I come to the garden alone, while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me that I am his own, and the joys we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. He speaks, and the sound of his voice is so sweet, the birds must their singing, and the melody that he gave to me within my heart is ringing. And why don't you sing it with me? Come on. Let's all go down to the river. There's a man, he's walking on the water. Come along with me, I want to see that man walking on the water. He can raise the dead from the grave, take the water, turn it into wine. He can make the lame walk, he can make the dumb talk, open up the eyes of the blind. So let's go down to the river. There's a man, he's walking on the water. Come along with me, I want to see that man walking on the water. He's walking on the water. Thank you. You know, I want to tell you a story about a little boy. I was walking in Savannah, past a church decayed and dim, when softly through a window came this plaintive funeral hymn. My sympathy awakened and a wonder quickly grew, till I found myself seated in that little old church pew. Up front, a lonely couple sat in sorrow, nearly wild. On the altar was a casket, and the casket was a child. I could picture him while running curly hair and smiling lips. Oh, I've seen perhaps 1,000 in my hurried southern trips. Then rose this sad old country preacher from his little wooden desk, in a manner rather awkward and countenance grotesque. He said, "Now, don't you be a weeping for this pretty bit of clay, because the little boy who lived there, he's done gone and run away. He's doing very finely. He appreciates your love. But the Heavenly Father wanted him in the big house up above. He lets you keep in love until your heart forever grow. But those silver tears that you're shedding, they're just interest on the loan. And so my poor dejected mourners creeping along life's way, what a blessed picnic this baby had today." I looked over Jordan and what did I see? Come for to carry me home, a band of angels coming after me, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Coming for to carry me home. Carry me home. Thank you. I started on this journey back in Bethlehem. And I came to Tampa we came to Tampa in 1975. When I got to Tampa, we were in Shirley and I were in Fort Lauderdale for about a year and a half, working hard. I worked really hard because I accepted a position as a partner promoting shows, concerts all over Florida. And we had a chance to come over here. We come over here, and she'll never forget. She says, "You know, I don't know why, but you don't sing for me anymore. And I said, well, I've just been busy. I'm working 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. Didn't feel like singing much. She said to me, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. If I buy you a new Martin guitar, would you start singing for me? I said, Sean, if you're going to buy me a new Martin guitar, I'll sing for you every day. And this is the guitar. She bought me in 1937. That would be from 1937 to today. That's 76 years. Fair weather friends, fair weather friends, fair weather sailor will leave you stranded on life's shore. One good friend who truly loves you is worth the pain your heart endures. We never know which way the wind will blow, where or when the next turmoil will be. But he's a solid rock when troubles grow, and he's holding out a saving hand for me. Fair weather friend, fair weather sailor will leave you stranded on life's shore. One good friend who truly loves you is worth the pain your heart endures. You'll be a rescue in the storm. You'll be the beacon in the night. When the chilly winds blow cold, he'll keep you warm. When you can't find your way, he'll be the light. Fair weather friend, fair weather sailor will leave you stranded on life's shore. One good friend who truly loves you is worth the pain your heart endures. Fair weather friend, fair weather sailor. Thank you. You know, thinking about that song, when I was in Nashville last July a year ago, I spent a whole week and we're sitting in his office, and I picked up his guitar and I started to play. He said, "Where did you learn that song?" I said, "Well, I learned it a couple of years ago." And he said, "You know, I recorded that years ago with Johnny Cash." "Really?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I wondered how you found it." I said, "Well, I just found it and I fell in love with it. And I recorded it last year with him." Well, to all my Irish friends that went on before me, and all the Irish friends here, and my wife is the great-great-granddaughter of Charles McHugh, who came over from Ireland. He lived to be 113 years of age. That means he was born before the Revolutionary War, and he died after the Civil War. Charles McHugh. Yeah, and I have his picture. This is a song that my mom taught me. She used to sing this song. Over in Killarney, many years ago, my mother sang a song to me in words so sweet and low. 'Twas a simple little ditty in our good old Irish way, and I'd give the world if I could hear sing to me this day. Tooraloo, hush now, don't you cry. That's an Irish This has been a really thrill. I want to thank a few people here. You don't do this thing alone, you know. First of all, David and I have been picking since 1978. That's about 35 years together. Having a great time. And to my dear friend Larry McFadden, who videotaped this whole concert I did tonight. Thank you, Larry. Thank you. Next time we'll call for Larry. And to my friend Ray Van Pelt and Cesar Lopez doing the sound and all the good stuff back there, making me sound good. Thank you very much, and to the ladies of the church that invited me to come here to do this concert. I thank you for inviting me. I am a member of this church, by the way, and I'm thrilled to be here. And I don't know if he's here tonight, but a guy came to me one time. He says, "How would you like to go to church with me?" And I said, "Well, that would be nice." He said, "I'll pick you up in my 1931 Ford, I think it was." But he brought me here 2.5 years ago. And I don't know if he's here or not, but Steve Conley is the man that brought me to this church. And I thank you, Steve, and I thank your wife, Kathy. So thank you, everybody, and thank you for coming here tonight. I had a great time.